This is the second coming. When the Mk4 Golf GTI was released in 2005, it was celebrated as the comeback of the true GTI. The Mk4 is remembered as the car that rescued the GTI badge after several underwhelming efforts. Speaking of underwhelming, this is a Mk4 GTI, and it is widely regarded as the worst GTI ever. In the car world, the Mk4 is a bit of an easy target. People who've never even driven one just repeat things they've heard on the internet about it being slow and boring. People like me, in fact.
Mk4, obese, rock bottom, the worst GTI of them all. Worst GTI of them all.
Worst GTI of them all.
Now, ever since I made that remark in my very first YouTube video, I have suffered the consequences. Several times a week, I receive angry comments from Mk4 owners, and they always say the same thing. They say that I'm wrong and stupid. They say the Mk4 is better than people think, and then they usually tell me to go f***. Now, today I'm going to find out if I was wrong about the Mk4. Is it as bad as people say, or is it an underrated bargain? I borrowed this car from fellow YouTuber Brad, who is currently holding my camera. All right, Brad?
Hey, Jack.
And we're going to take it for a spin and find out if this car deserves its bad reputation.
Now, before we go any further, it is worth pointing out that this car is not stock. So let's have a quick chat with Brad about what he's done to this car and why.
Not great, to be honest. It definitely needed a few things to get it up to the GTI standard. They badged, I think it was 3 different engines as the GTI, depending on what country you were
There
in.
was a diesel as well, wasn't there?
Yes,
Weird.
the 1.9. There was the 2-litre naturally aspirated engine, which had 115 brake horsepower, which,
Rubbish.
yeah, just avoid that, is what everyone says. This is the one to go for.
Is this one easier to get power out of because it's got the
Oh
turbo?
yeah, definitely. Go to a tuner and just tell them that you want a map on it to give it a bit more power.
Plug it in, make it naughtier.
Yeah, exactly. So I haven't actually keep count of how much I've done. Hello, doggy. But it'll be around 1,000 to 1,500. It's a different car now to what it was, yeah.
Just from speaking to Brad there, it's pretty apparent he agrees that in stock form, the Mk4 GTI is indeed a bit of a wet flannel. In fact, if we're being completely honest, it probably does deserve its reputation as being the worst GTI. Sorry. So let's not keep flogging a dead horse here. There's no point continuing to ask the question, is a stock Mk4 not very good? No, it's not very good. So let's ask a different question. Is a Mk4 GTI a good starting point, right? With a few tasteful modifications and without breaking the bank, can you make this into the car it should have been in the first place? That's a really worthwhile question because these are so cheap. The Mk4s have a bad reputation, and because of that, you can get one for 700 quid. And if a grand's worth of modifications makes it into a really fun, exciting car, well, you've still spent half of what I paid for my Mk5 GTI. So let's see. First impressions, 10 out of 10 for golfiness. The seats are very comfy, it's very nice in here, it feels well made, blah, blah, blah. It's a Golf, of course it does. Handling. I was surprised to hear that when Brad was talking about what this car was like in stock form, the handling was his biggest complaint, not the power or lack thereof.
It's sluggish, obviously round the corners, it was very boaty, I'd say. The simplest things that you can really do to make it feel like the car it should be is go for coilovers or go for lowering springs.
This car is now on lowering springs, and I would say problem solved to an extent. Okay, it's a little bit bumpy and rattly, but not terribly so. The steering is not very good. I mean, that's not great, is it? The steering is numb. That's an expensive thing to fix. You kind of just have to live with that one, to be honest. If you want to improve the steering feel, I mean, money. Now, is it fast? Yes, it's fast. This car has 230 brake horsepower with its remap, and Oh, listen to it. Okay, collect yourself. It's icy on the road out, by the way, so this is a little bit stressful. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, it's, when the boost comes on, it's a bit silly. It's like a Ferrari F40, except not. I hate how much this thing is making me want to remap my car right now. It's really annoying. So, what's the verdict? Is the Mk4 Golf a bit rubbish? Yes, still, it is. But what this thing proves is that for less than £2,000 all in, you can make it into an absolute weapon. Steering, not great, not a lot of feel, not an awful lot that you can do about that. It is what it is. But the power that he's given this thing, I mean, look, if you want a car that's really competent through twisty roads, this probably isn't for you, even with some modifications. But as far as point and squirt, you can embarrass a lot of people at a lot of sets of traffic lights in this thing. You need to be handy with a spanner, you need a driveway to work on your car in, you need to not mind the fact that no one will buy it off you by the time you get done. The worst GTI is still a GTI, and what this car proves is that you really can make these into something very entertaining without a horrendous amount of work. I think I'll stick to my nice Mk4 though.
Hi there! Thank you very much for watching my video. I thought maybe I should introduce myself since I've not really done that on this channel yet. Thank you very much to everyone who's hit subscribe so far. We're on 2,500 subscribers after just 5 videos. I did not expect that. I feel like shmee. Thank you for your support. Thank you to everyone who's left a... I just spat. Thank you for your support. Thank you to everyone who's left a kind and encouraging comment on one of my videos. I read all of them and they are amazing. They really encourage me and I'm having so much fun doing this. I'm going to do lots more for you. And if this is your first time watching one of my videos, welcome. Click subscribe right now. Do it. Do it now. Do it. Quick channel update for you. I'm going to be 25 quite soon and I'm hoping that that means I'm going to find it easier insurance-wise to get my hands on some bigger engined cars. Just the other day I had to turn down the opportunity to drive a BMW M5 because no one would insure me on it. Hopefully stay tuned for videos of things that aren't buried up hatchbacks with loud exhausts. But there'll be plenty of those as well. Finally, if you happen to live in the south of England and you'd be interested in me coming and meeting you, having a little go in your car, making a dank vid about it, get in contact with me. I'll leave my email address down below. Would love to hear from you. Thank you so much to everyone that's already got in contact and offered me your cars. I can't even tell you how much I appreciate that. Been in touch with a couple of you. I'm going to meet you soon. We're going to shoot videos. It's going to be sick. Cheers.